So we are dealing with question 2B of this paper. Question 2B. Question 2B. So the question says that Jabo Limited is a multi-product firm. The company intends to launch a new product branded ZP in the coming months. Production will be in batches of 1,000 units throughout the life of the product. It is expected to achieve a 90% learning curve, but the learning would cease after the 64th batch. Other relevant data of product ZP is as follows. We have the selling price, the direct materials costs per unit, total direct labor cost for the first batch, variable overhead costs per unit, total specific fixed costs. The learning index for a 90% learning curve is minus 0.152. So we are told to get the expected profit to be earned from the product over its lifetime. So this question is capturing two areas. We have learning curves, and life cycle costing. Learning curves and life cycle costing. Capturing learning curves and life cycle costing. So when you're told to get the expected profit, we know profit should be revenue minus costs. But for us to get all the costs, there is the issue of the learning curve. So we will say, using learning curves, total approach, because we are looking for the total. The formula will be y is equals to ax raised to power b plus 1. The formula will be y is equals to ax b plus 1. So as usual, we start looking for these items. We know so well that b is given as the log of r. You divide by the log of 2. So this is the log of 0.9. The log of 0.9, which you divide by the log of 2. And the examiner here was kind enough to tell us it is minus 0.152. Minus 0.152. So proceeding, we will have minus 0.152 plus 1. That will be 0.848. 0.848. Then we now look for x. X, we have You see, as far as learning curve is concerned, they are given in terms of batches, and we are told a batch contains 1,000 units. So we are going to have 256 batches. 256 batches stroke units. So that is our X. Then A, it is not now in terms of time, but in terms of shillings, which is the labor cost for the first batch, 52,500. 52,500. So when we come now to get Y for the 256, I told you, you need to confirm whether the first unit to be made is part of these 256. And if it is part of it, whether there is what we call steady state. Now, as you can see here, tunaambiwa running will proceed and stop at 64. It will stop at 64. So this one for the 256 then will be Y for the first 64 plus Y for the next 256 minus 64. That is how we are going to get it. Y for the first 64 minus Y for the next. So in order to deal with this one, we need to get time for the 64. So Y for the 64, Y for the 64th will be 52,500 times 64 raised to power 0.848 you minus 52,500 multiplied by 63 you raised to power 0.848. So sasa hii utasema 64 raised by 0.848 times 52,500. I'm getting 1,785,664.733 minus 63 raised to power 0.848 multiplied by 52,500. Get 1,761,976.409. 409. So this settles to become 1785,664.773 minus the answer. I'm getting 23,688.32412. Are you getting such? Yes, Ivarin, I can see we have the same. Okay. So that is what we have. So now, Y for the 256 will be 1,765,664.733 plus 256 minus 64. 256 minus 64 multiplied by 23,688.32412. So when you work it out, so if I multiply by 256 minus 64, then I say plus 1785, 664.773. Set your answer. Nione kama tunakubaliana 6,333,822.963. Set the answer. Are we agreeing? Yes, Ivarim, Kina Makena, Royce, and Jack. So with that, to get the expected profit, so the life cycle income statement we will begin with revenue. So revenue, we are told it is the selling price is 123 per unit. So you will say 256,000 units times 123. 256 times 123 is 31,488,000. Then you say less materials cost. Material costs. So material cost is also provided on a per unit basis. So it is 256 times 36. So getting 9,216,000. 9,216,000. Then we bring labor costs. Now, labor cost is what we have just computed up here, which is 6,333,822.963. Then we have variable overheads. Or we come to overheads. So overheads, we have the variable ones. So the variable are also per unit. So 256,000 times 24. I'm getting a figure of 6,144,000. 144,000. And then the fixed, that is already provided. 3,875,000. 875,000. And with that, we are in a position to record what the profit should be. That is the net profit. And if you're using the figures as I have them there, so I say plus 3875,000 plus 633,822.963 plus 9216,000 equals, so that 148,000. So minus 9216 minus 633,822.963 6,144,000 3,875,000. Tell me whether you're getting 5,919,177.037. Yes, Ivarin, good. Regine, Tristrois, good. McKenna and Jack, we also need to hear you. So that is the profit that will be made. So it has now been established that the running curve will continue for all the 256. So you are required to get the running curve that will make a profit of 10 million. So in answering that, we want more profit. Because in Abua, we want to make a profit of 10 million. And the only thing that is affected by running curve is this labor cost. So the game will be between this labor and this one. So if this profit is going to go up, what must happen to labor? It must reduce it. So we will say, in order to have a net profit, of shillings 10 million, labor costs should be equal to Tumesema inapungua. So it should be the current 6333 822.963. So we are going to reduce it. We are going to reduce it by the amount required to make this one to be 10 million. So that will be 10 million minus 5919 177.037. So we are going to reduce by that. So if I say 10 million, then I say 633,822.963. $22.53. So labor costs so we are saying labor cost should be shillings 2,253,000. So that is the amount that we require. Yes, Jack and Eva can see that. So how did we arrive at this 633, this one? We arrived at it by using the running curve. And you can see it has two components because it was an interval, it was not continuous. But now we are told it is going to be continuous. That is, if you got a 52,500, you multiply now by 256 raised power b plus 1. It should give you 225. That is what it should give you. That is what you should have. So we are now looking for R. So we are looking for R. This one changes to 256b plus 1. 2253, you divide by 52,500. So 256b plus 1. If it is not giving us an exact value, we should avoid decimals. 52,500. Wacha kwanza tuibebe tu hivyo. So then what I will do, I will just introduce logarithms straight. Ndio niseme b plus 1 log of 256 should be equal to the log of 2253,000, which is divided by 52,500. When you introduce logarithms, that means b plus 1 will be the logarithm of 2253,000. You divide by 52,500. This one you divide by the log of 256. So this proceeds to become, give me this. So the log of the answer divided by the log of that is after you have subtracted. But before that, you tuonyeshe hii, you getting 0.6779. Yeah. Then you minus 1. So sasa hivi unasema ni negative 0.3221. Recall or where B is given as the log of R. You divide by the log of 2. Remember, we are looking for R. So this then becomes, if I want to be left with the log of R on this side, then this will be B log of 2. And I want to have R finally on its own. It will be R is equal to the antilog of B log of 2. Antilog is the inverse, the other word for the inverse. So I'm looking for the antilog of minus 0.3221 log of 2. So give me that. So minus 1 times the log of 2 equals shift log the answer. I'm getting 0.7999. So this one you can call it 0.8, or you tell us 80%. That's all. Are you able to get those things? Yes, Ivarin. The others. Okay, good. us now go to question 4A. A pizza vendor buys pieces of pizza every morning at shillings 4.50 each by placing an order one day in advance and sells them at shillings 700 each. Unsold pizza could be sold the following day at shillings 200 per piece, and thereafter, if still unsold, the pizza is treated as waste. The pattern of demand of the pizza is given below. We have the fresh pizza. We have 1 day old pizza. Additional information is that the vendor adopts the rule that if there is no stock of pizza at the end of the previous day, an order of 110 pieces is placed. Otherwise, an order of 100 or 105 pieces is placed, whichever is nearest to the actual fresh pizza sale on the previous day. So use the following set of random numbers. Starting with zero stock and a pending order of 105 pieces of pizza, simulate the transactions for 10 days and determine the vendor's profit or loss. So I want you on your own to prepare the Monte Carlos for the fresh pizza and the 1 day old pizza. Prepare on your own. Ukimaliza uniandikie the word finish. Hope my space will be enough. One change. So if my opening stock, I call it A. These ones I call them B. And these ones I call them C. units and salt will be A minus C, which I want to call D. Available for sale in 1 day is still our opening stock. That is still our A. Units sold, I will call them E. Even as weights, I will call them F. How do I get my closing stock? Closing stock should be the units have not sold, D plus A, the opening, minus A minus F. So my closing stock will be what I began the day with. I add what I received. No. Let me add what remains and sold, so that we're represented by so what I opened the day with, and what I has remained and sold, B. Then I minus anything that has been sold here and here. This one I call it G. How do I get purchase costs? One pizza ananunua at how much? 450 each. So purchase costs will be 450B. And we will call it H. Then a pizza that is sold that day is going for 700. So my profit will be 700 C plus a pizza that is sold on the second day is going for 200. So 200 E minus H. We are able to draw something nice with many lines. That way. Okay, sawa. Total and average. Those who are online, once you are through, you write finish, you write drawn, so that you are able to proceed together. I can see we are finished. Good. So we can begin the analysis now. And what is happening here is that these guys are ordering in advance, 1 day in advance. 1 day in advance. And as they make the order, there are 2 order sizes. They can order either 110, actually there are 3 order sizes, or they can order 100 or 105, depending on the closing stocks, and also depending on the demand of the previous day. So now, on the first day, we are told to begin. We are told to begin with 0 stock. So put a 0 here. And then a pending order. So if the order is pending, it means it was placed yesterday in the morning. And if it was given yesterday in the morning, we expect to receive it today. We expect to receive it today in the morning. So the unit received will be 105. The unit received will be 105. Record the first random number. Is that 7? That 7. That translates to a demand of how many? 106. So how many units do we sell? We sell 105 because that is the many that we have. So the unit sold 105. So do we have any unit that remains unsold? No. When you go to the old day, 1 day old, do we have anything available for sale? No. What would be the random? I think hiyo tunaweza achana nazo. We only take where there is need. Where there is need. Although amepeana zote, lakini ni sawa. What do you want? Do we skip them or we put? Okay. We can just put. Okay, ni sawa. So 17. So if we put 17, kibia kwa Monte Carlo ya the old day, the 1 day old, uangalie ni how many? 0. So how many do we sell? It is 0. Because we had nothing and again no one came. So how many units do we give as waste? Now units are given as waste if by the end of the second day, yeah, by the end of the second day, it remains unsold, that is going to be given as waste. So there is nothing to give as waste. So what is our closing stock? It is still 0. Now, what size do we place? What order size do we place that morning? Now, that is, there are several rules there. Number 1, tunaambiwa the vendor adopts the rule that if there is no stock of pizza at the end of the previous day, an order of 110 pieces is placed. Otherwise, an order of 105 or 100 is placed. Whichever is nearest to the actual fresh pizza sale on the previous day. So the sequence of this rule is kwanza unaangalia closing stock. If the closing stock is 0, you press 110. But if the closing stock is not 0, unatoka hapo, unaenda kuangalia demand ya the previous or sales for the previous day. Then you place the order appropriately. So the question at hand now is, on our first day, what do you think was the closing stock the previous day? The closing stock must have been 0. And that's why we opened with what? With 0. So the closing stock the previous day must have been 0. That's why we opened with 0. So if the closing stock is 0, you make an order size of 110. So we're going to request them to give us 110. So with that, the purchase cost will be 450 times 105. You get it? 47,250? 47,250. And what would be the profit? Unachukua 700 multiplied by C, which is 105. Then you add 200 multiplied by E, which is 0. Then you less 47,250. You get 26,150. 6,250. We now go to day number 2. The opening stock is what? 0, because our closing here was 0. But yesterday we placed another size of, and that is the one we are receiving today, 110. Random number is what? 73. Ikibia kwa Monte Carlo, that gives you how many units? 108. So how many do we sell? 108. Do we have any that remains unsold? 2 of them, they remain unsold that day, the fresh ones. Anything that is available for sale, 1 day old. Anything? There is nothing that is available. At times I see students confused with this one. It came today, so it's not 1 day old. Kesho itakuwa 1 day old. So the next random number is 28. So that gives us how many? 0. And therefore we sell 0. Anything to give us waste? No. Closing stock now will be how many units? There will be 2 units. So order size, we are going to place an order of how many units? 110, because kwanza tunakimbia hapa kuangalia closing stock ya jana, which was 0. So if it is 0, nasema 110. So give me the purchase cost. Yeah? 49,500. Based on that, mm-hmm. 25,900. 25,900. And a different figure we see. That is 110 times, or I should start with, so 110 times 450 is equals hour. Then 700 times 108 minus, hakuna kitu tumeuza, minus 49,500. 26,100. 26,100. Yes, Eva and Helen, 26,100. $6,100. Haya, tuende kwa day 3. Tunafungua na how many units? 2. These ones ndio zinafungua. And now we are receiving how many? 110. Zile tulikuwa tumeweka jana. These ones. Random number is what? 14. So that gives us how many? How many units? 103. How many units do we sell? 103. How many remain unsold? There are 7. Because we are under the confines of the fresh. So, the fresh ones, there are 7 that remain unsold. So how many are available for sale when they are 1 day old? 2. This is a Jan. Then random number is what? 69. 69 gives us how many units? 0. So how many do we sell? We have 2 units, but no one comes, so we sell nothing. So is it time to donate these 2 or to throw away? Yeah, it's time to throw away because they have not been sold. So the ones thrown away as waste, 2. And the closing stock now remains to be how many units? 7. Remain to be 7. It is time to make the order. So when it is time to make the order, once out to be up our closing stock of the previous day. Is it 0? No. When it is not 0, unakimbia kwa the sales of the previous day. Eh? Is it? An order of 110, otherwise an order of 100 or 105 is placed, whichever is nearest to the actual fresh sale. Okay, so tunaangalia the previous day. Previous day, we day 2. How many did we sell? 108. So 100 and 105, which is closer to 108. So you place 105. Praise 105. So ukishaweka 105, give me the purchase cost. Or that remains 49,500. Eh? Still remains 49,500. So give me now the profit. What do you have? 22,600. Good. 22,600. Yes, Royce and Ivarin confirmed. Good. Let us go to day 4. Day 4 sasa tunafungua na what? 7. We are opening with 7. Tukifungua na 7, tunatarajia kupata ngapi? 105. Random number is random number is 17. So 17 translates to a demand of 104. And therefore, how many units do we sell? 104. How many remain unsold? 1. Anything available for sale 1 day old? 7. Random number is 38. 38 gives us how many units? 0. Then anaitwa nani? Units sold. We sell 0 because we had 7 and no one came. So how many do we throw away as waste? 7. And what is our closing stock now? Our closing stock is 1 unit. Because he gave me back. Now it is time to place the order. So how many units do we order? Umesema tuna order ngapi? 105. Hope everyone is clear on that. Yes, I can see Royce 105. The purchase cost will be 47,250. So based on that, tell me what will be the profit. The 25. 25,500. Yeah? Yes, Ibrahim confirmed. 25,500. Yeah? Okay. Yes, Royce. Jack. Good. We go to day number 5. Day number 5, tunafungua na hii moja. Then how many units do we receive? 105. Hii ndio tuliweka jana. Hii ndio tunatarajia today. So random number is 20. So how many units? 105. So we sell 105. Anything that remains unsold, 0. So anything available for sale is 1. The random number 50. So the units will be how many? The demand 0. So we still sell 0. No one has come to buy. Sasa in order to pay, so that the closing stock is now what? 0. The closing stock is 0. The order size, tunaangalia hapa, this is 1, so it's not 0. So tuangalie the actual sales ya jana, which was 104. So 105 is closer to that. So we place 105. Purchase cost is still 47,250. So work out the profits. Here's Ivarin, 26,250. Confirmed? Okay. Day number 6, the closing was 0. So tunafungua na 0. Tulikuwa tumeweka order ya 105. So hizo ndio tunapata today. Random number is 35. So that changes to a demand unit of 106. So how many do we sell? 105. And anything that remains unsold, 0. Available for sale is 0. Random number 57. That translates to 0. So we sell nothing. So there is nothing to throw away as waste. And also there is no closing stock, because there is nothing that remained unsold. So it's time to make the order. So kwanza tunaangalia hapa, hii closing stock tunapata ilikuwa 0. So when it is 0, we place an order of 110. Purchase cost of 105, hiyo tunajua ni 47,250. 47,250. So work out and tell me what will be the profits. Here's Ivarin, 26,250. Na banana, 26,250. Day number 7. We open with 0 And it's the day we are receiving these 110. The random number is 29. That gives us 105. The units to be sold are 105. So the units that remain unsold, they will be 5. There is nothing available for sale 1 day old. Random number is 82. How many units? 1. One customer has come, but we have nothing to give them. So they go home empty-handed. We have nothing to throw away. Sasa hii tano, it remains as our closing stock. And again, it is time to place the order. So naangalia jana tulifunga na 0, so we are placing 110. So when you buy 110, the purchase cost is 49,500. 49,500. So give me the profit amount. Yes, Ivarin, Jack, 24,000. Haya. Day 8, kulikuwa na closing ya 5. And the units that we ordered were 110. So that is what you are seeing. Then demand, the random number is 37. That gives us a demand of 106. And therefore, how many do we sell? 106. How many remain unsold? 4. And anything available for sale? 5. Random number 44. So that gives us 0. So we sell nothing. Then these 5 we throw away. The closing now is to these 4. These 4. It's time to make the order again. So you check the closing stock. It is not 0. So if it is not 0, unakuja hapa kwa the unit sold 105. So 100 and 105, which is closer to 105. 105. That is what you place the order for. And then purchase costs. Huh? 43,500 or 49,500. And then sasa huyu profit atakuwa ngapi? $24,700. 24,700. Yeah, look, I can see it. Then huyu number 9 tunafungua, the closing stock is 4. That becomes the opening. Tulikuwa tumewekeza 105. That is what you are receiving today. Demand of that 3 then 105. So we sell 1 and nothing remains unsold. So available for sale tuko na hii 4. Random number 89. So 89 translates to a demand of 1. So at least for the first time we sell 1. And how many do we throw away? 3. Throw away 3. Then the closing. Hakuna yenye imebaki, si ndio? So the closing stock is 0. It's time to place the order. Tulifunga na 4 units. So demand ya jana ilikuwa the sale was 106. So we should place an order of 105. Hapa tulikuwa tumenunua 105. When you buy 105 inakuja 47 to 50. 47 to 50. So give me the profits. Oh, you are in saying 26 to 50. Thumbs? Good. Then the last day, tuko na closing huko ya 0. So hiyo ndio tunafungua nayo hapa. Tulikuwa tumeweka jana ya 105. Tunapata leo random number 68. That is how many units? 107. So how many do we sell? 105. Nothing remains unsold. The available for sale is 0. Random number for demand owed 60. How many units? 0. And the units unsold, but the units sold is 0. The ones we throw away, they are also 0. Closing stock is also 0. So we place an order of 110. Sasa tumenunua 105. So the purchase cost is 47 to 50. So what would be the still the same, 26 to 50. So that is all. So add his profit zote. Add all those profits. You're getting 254 to 1. When you add all of them, yes, Ibarin 254 to 1. So divide by 10, you get an average of 25,420. That is the average profit that they will boast of. So we can do the Monte Carlos for the part B. Monte Carlos design part B now on that question. Aha, so tulishamaliza. So this one has the selling price, the variable cost per unit, the sales volume, na hatuna fixed cost eh? So we are not told days, we just call them trial number. So the first item is selling price. We have random number, and then we have shillings. I want us to call it A. Then unit variable costs, just variable costs. We have random number and shillings. We call it B. Then sales volume. We have random number and we call it unit C. Then we get annual contribution. Annual contribution, which will be given as A minus B, you multiply by C. You multiply by C. Multiply by C. You're through it? Okay, so trial number 1. Random number is 80. So here inaleta price ya 900. The next random number is 60. Variable cost ya 600. The next random number is 43. How many units? 30,000. So if you take 300 times 30,000 is 9 million. Number 2, we have 63. A price of 875. After 63, I have 21. A variable cost of 550. The next after 21 is 40. Those are how many units? 30,000 again. So if you say 875 minus 550 times 30,000 is 9,750,000. Day number 3 after 40 is 36. 875 again. Then I have 05 is 350. Then after 05 I have 69. 40,000. So if I say 875 minus 350 equals times 4 exponential 4 is 21 million. Okay, 21 million. Day number 4 after 69 is 16. As a price of 700. After hiyo tuko na 73. 600. 600. The next random number after that is 86. 40,000. So if you say 700 minus 600 is times 4 exponential 4 is 4 million. 4 million. Day number 5 after 86 I have 28. 875. Toka 28 to corner 31. 550 kutoka 31 tuko na 61. 40,000. So sasa ukisema 875 minus 550 equals times 4 exponential 4 is 30 million. Eh? That's all. 13 million. Day number 6, that is after 61, I have 57. 875. Then I have 39. 550. Then after that I have 96. We still have 40,000. So 875. So hiyo inakoshana, sio? Still 13 million. Day number 7, after 96, we're gonna 49. 875. 77, eh? 600. Then, oh, the next one is 26, eh? 26 is giving us how many? 30,000. So 875 minus 600 multiplied by 3 exponential 4 is 8,250,000. Yeah? Then day number 8, after 26, we have 95. So 95 translates to 900. Then we have 82, 600. Then we have 72, 40,000. So Sasa, this is 12 million. And the random numbers are over. Right? So if they are over, you get the total. Same 12,000 plus 8250 plus 26,000 plus 25,000 plus 18,750 is 90 million. Then average, you divide by 8 is 11,250,000. So the average is that. So we call it the other juncture and hope to meet in the next lesson. Thank you so much.